avoidance come back all the time. So I've been coaching for 10 years, all right? And I have all of my clients on WhatsApp. And I see avoidance every single day. And my job, and I'm really good at it, is to get you guys talking again. Once your ex begins to talk to you again, usually you guys can carry it forward, especially when we spend some time learning the fundamentals. Guys, I've been doing a detox, right? And it is just showing up in my skin. I didn't realize how like dehydrated I really was. Anyway, so when you guys are getting back together and talking, the connection will resurface. It will spark again. But it only happens after you've done the work. It happens after you've done the time of, no contact and separation and all that. And it's because once they feel that loss, that's when they want to come back to you. Once they feel that you are no longer available, that's when they start wanting to come back to you. You have to, guys, use the laws of the human nature, laws of assumption. Like I always tell my clients, like I get them to a place of almost like a crazy confidence. Assume they're going to come back because you're so awesome, right? See, the people, and this is a correlation that I never thought was going to be something I would ever see in my work, but like the people that have a lot of confidence in what they do, some of these guys are like music producers, and some of these people are very happy already. They just come to me and they're like, hey, I want my avoidant ex back. The people who are really confident and just happy to be alive, like those kinds of people, they are already operating from here for the most part. They're just currently temporarily in a state of red, right? So when that happens, your ex comes back 10 times more often when you are just like, yeah, you'll be back, whatever. And I want you guys to reach that place. I want you guys to reach the place where you're like, yeah, you know what, whatever. The more that you pine for your ex, okay, the more that you want them, the further they're going to be. Now, this is going to sound woo-woo, so just bear with me, all right? Because after you see certain patterns in the physical world, like what we see, you begin to look, and when a question can't get answered with logic, like science, I started to look in other places and, spirituality and stuff like that. And there is a chart that I usually give my clients called the 12 Laws of the Universe. It's actually a book and it's free on Spotify. It's got a green cover. Anyway, the very first law is the law of divine oneness, which means we are all connected. So on a like, subatomic level or whatever, they've done experiments on this like hundreds of times, especially from like the 70s to like the 2000s. But anyway, the point is like we see separation, but we're not separate, if that makes sense. But anyway, the idea behind that is when you do no contact, the thought pattern came for me as a coach. Why is it that after 3 months, no contact works so well? Why do they come back after 3 months all the time? That went through my brain. And I think that when 3 months hits, you guys, the dumpies, begin to just feel better. Now, you're not hurting the day, like not like day one, but you're also not like willing to sacrifice your right leg just to get your ex back, right? Because I know some of you guys would do that. So I think when you start feeling better, they can feel it. And then they start looking for you. They start looking at your profile. They'll even start doing it earlier than that. That is why no contact is so important. Actually, funny enough, the 3 month thing is actually faster when you are the kind of person that does a lot of like work, like again, making you very confident. So maybe you have like a business, or maybe you have a TikTok or something like that. Whenever you are up here, so I'll show you guys. This section, whoa, this is weird, is the most selfish, okay? They focus on themselves because they don't feel like they're worthy, like they matter. This section of people focuses on other people. So when you are happy and up on the top of the chart, you'll get your ex back sooner, right? Because you're focused on providing value and love and light and whatever to the world already. So people that are, again, creating content and whatever, making other people happy. When I see that, now the people that are down here in the red, they are usually the ones that are doing absolutely nothing. And all they want is their relationship back because they put the relationship on such a pedestal that they've neglected themselves. How many of you neglected yourself or yourselves in the relationship? You stopped seeing your friends. You stopped playing piano. You just stopped taking care of yourself. You stopped trying to look good. You stopped, maybe you gained weight or lost weight. Maybe you stopped hitting the gym. That's what happens when you guys, and how do I know? As a coach, I see it every single day in WhatsApp. I hit the gym again. I lost 30 pounds. I've done all of this again, right? I want you guys to stay on point all the time. And the people that are up here get their exes back sometimes a month sooner. Regardless, your ex is going to want space. That's what the relief stage is. They cannot get to curiosity if they hear from you and see you all the time. So again, all I want you guys to do is just assume it'll work. What's the worst thing that could happen? Okay. You do unapologetic work on yourself. Don't see your friends for a month or two and just literally live in the gym. You know what I mean? Read everything I tell you to read. So there's the attached book by Amir Levine, which is in my Stand Store link, also where coaching is. And for the fellas, I get them to read a certain book, but letting go. Read this book. That's where this chart comes from, by David Hawkins. Read it. It'll make you an emotional, you'll be able to feel, but you'll be able to feel emotions, no problem, but you'll be able to get through them and get over them faster. And you'll just be able to deal with everything so much better. Nothing will bother you. That is the point, I think, of what we're supposed to be doing. I teach people to start just creating such confidence by just let it go. It's not even my work. I didn't make this chart. This is David Hawkins' work. I'm just trying to get people to pay attention to what they're doing, right? I had a guy this morning message me saying, should I get her a gift? I won't say exactly what because I don't want to roast him. Nobody will know. But I said no, because you guys are always so afraid just to do the no contact work. Curiosity builds slowly with your ex. It really does. Anyway, this is a long video. But if you guys need my help, reach out to me. I just want to give you guys some insight and let you guys know avoidance come back all the time. They do. Okay? You just have to put in the work. Put in the effort. Don't shortcut this. Everybody, we're in the age of shortcuts. Shortcuts. Just do it. Okay? The shortcuts always lead back to the beginning, I would even say. Every shortcut I've ever tried to take in business or anything like that fails. It's like I get punched in the face by God or the universe or whatever you guys subscribe to. But when I take the long road every time and just put in the work, it works. It works. You create competence that way. Anyway, love you guys. 2 things that your avoidant ex will say to you when they're beginning to really miss you. And there's more than this, but I just want to keep it nice and short. The very first thing that they say when they are really missing you is something along the lines of, I saw something that reminded me of you, right? Sometimes they'll even just directly say, I'm thinking about you. And it could be a photo, it could be a music playlist, it could be a movie, TV show, anything that you guys shared together. And of course, it can go deeper than that. Intimacy, right? That kind of thing. Now, they're not usually going to be like, I miss, when we were intimate. They don't usually say that. But that will trigger it and spark it. And then sometimes they look for more appropriate things to say to you. This is basically their safe way, right, of saying, you're on my mind. Because in their mind, they say, okay, if I say it this way, I'm still protected. I'm not being extremely vulnerable, because they can easily just, pull it back and say, I was just thinking that in the moment, right? It doesn't mean I miss you that much. Relax. You know, they give themselves an out. And they're also testing to see if it's okay to bring emotion back into the conversation between you. And they don't expose themselves too much for doing so. So again, they try to stay safe. And remember, guys, if you want help or coaching, everything's in the bio. So you guys can book I don't really do like text sessions. Like you just tell me what's going on, kind of like an email, and then I'll answer it and give you tips, right? But if you want to book a call, they're there too. But anyway, the second thing that you want to say is that they say to you is, I hope that you're doing okay. Now, this can also be dressed in several different ways, which is, again, why the reason I'm able to get so many people to get back together, or at least in the talking phase, is because I remove all of the science part of no contact and get you guys to understand that it's far more of an art form. When you have an ex, a lot of people are looking at it in such a black and white way because you're emotional, right? And you really want them to pay attention to you. You don't want to lose the connection forever. So you're in a very fearful state. So what I try to get you guys to do is understand that it's more of an art, more of a pullback, retest kind of thing. But obviously, if they come to you, that's great. That's good. We want that. So the most important thing to stop thinking so black and white about it. But anyway, I hope you're doing okay. It's like a soft check-in to see if like you're emotionally available. Sometimes they're really afraid that you're actually going to reject them. So they don't want that, right? They don't want you to be in a place where you'll reject them forever. You know what I mean? They want to see if you're still going to be there. Even if they think the grass is going to be greener, they still want you there. Sometimes it's for a good reason or bad reason, usually bad because safety net, but their intention isn't always to date other people. I've just seen it way too often where they're like, no, I just don't want to be in a fucking relationship anymore. Like, chill out, right? Because some of my clients lose their mind for a while and they reach out way too much and bombard before they contact me. So again, they're fishing for some warmth and connection to see if you'd still be there. So again, these are just two things. There's several more. I'll make more videos on this. But again, if you guys need me, reach out to me through, like you'll see the Stan Store link in the bio. And guys, watch out for scammers. Kyle Johnson 9191 is my only account. 91 is my favorite number. It's a number I wore for sports in school and stuff. It's not my birth year, no. People ask me that. And my Instagram is only Kyle.Johnson_. Sorry. Kyle.consulting_. Kyle.consulting, which is the link for that is also my Stan Store. Okay. Be careful. I don't do readings. I'm not like a reading person. I'm not one of those. So just be really careful. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, is this you? No, no, this is my only account. Okay. And you guys catch on. You're smart. Most of you are very smart. You catch on and you're like, this doesn't sound like you. So if you ever want to know if somebody's a scammer, get them, because TikTok does this now, get them to send you a voice message. Does it sound anything like me? Right? You guys will be able to decide. But again, love you guys. Take it easy. If you guys need me, reach out.